Good morning, everyone. I am in such a better mood today. I went home after seeing my teta yesterday and my auntie and uncle, and I've gone home. I've had another cup of tea with my Irish grandparents, read, had a nice chat with some friends. Like, it was just such a good end to such another, on the back end of another beautiful day. The whole day was lovely. And I am just feeling in such better spirits. And remember how yesterday I said to you, I might wake up today and feel so much more faithful than I did yesterday. And I do. Today I feel a lot better. Anyway, we're not turning this vlog, like I often do, into multiple car rants. So I'm just letting you know that I'm on the way to a rehearsal meeting for a poetry slam, and there is a car speeding behind me. I am on my way to the rehearsal for the big Grand Slam competition coming up in the Opera House. So we've got to go and practice and make sure everything's all up to speed. I'm very excited. I don't know how much I can vlog. It's just, obviously it's something that you're not meant to share publicly until the actual performance. But anyway, I did throw in is it this vlog or the vlog before? I think the vlog before. I have thrown in some footage of us rehearsing in my office. But yeah, aside from that, it's a bit difficult to vlog. But if I can, I of course will. Anyway, off for another busy day. I don't think I'll go see my friend after the meeting though. I think rather than rushing around, I will, I'll just go home and relax, get ready for the work week ahead, and then I will probably catch up with her in a couple weekends time, because the next few weekends are pretty busy back to back getting ready for this competition. Anyway, all right, I'll see you all at the meeting or when I leave the meeting. I have somehow gotten here before everyone, and I'm normally someone who doesn't arrive early, and I'm not late. I'm never late and I'm never early. I'm always right on time, like obviously give or take a few minutes here or there, but so I'm kind of really happy because this is something I've really wanted to try and work on, and I probably should have made as a part of my like little 3 New Year's resolutions / goals that I set at the start of the year, to try and be a bit early. Anyway, in that time, like the good little book babe, as that, or book nerd, whatever it read on that cap yesterday, like it said, I have packed with me in my little book sleeve, I have packed with me a book and my diary. It fits really nicely. My book is in the pocket in the sleeve, and the front pocket is my diary. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to read for a little bit. I was going to use the spare time to go buy an iced tea, but then I said to myself, no, we're coming up to Lent and I'm going to give up sugar. I may as well like start preparing for that now, even though I get it with no sugar, but I think there's still some sugar in it. I have to check the ingredients actually, but I've got my imitation Stanley cup, good old Kmart, with me, so my water will be fine. So I'm going to read and then, whoops, go in for my meeting. Me thinking I had already pressed record. Okay, next time we come, I'll bring the suction thingy, whatever it was.
Very influential.
Yeah, I could. I took that with me everywhere when I went to Ireland.
That's so smart.
Yeah, I used it once. But it's better to have it and not use it. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. All right, what one are we starting with?
Column 1.
Column 1.
Oh. Okay, column 1. rehearsals are going very well. I have a question actually.
Sure.
We would all like to wear traditional clothing. Is that a prop?
Is it directly referenced in your poem?
Well, only in my regard, because one of the poems is about Palestine and I'm Palestinian.
I mean, this is the same conversation we had last year.
No, last year was the kufiyas. This year I want to wear a free floor.
Oh, interesting.
And then I want to wear like an Assyrian jacket.
That's so beautiful.
We just thought it would be really nice to wear traditional clothing, and seeing as it's our culture, it's technically not a prop.
No, of course.
Yeah.
The only distinction we ever make is if it's referenced really specifically in the poem, like if it's like my dolman and you like point to it. But I'll reserve my answer until I've seen the performance. But in general, in theory, there's no reason why it should be.
Okay.
But sometimes people think it's not, and then they're like, oh wait, this poem doesn't work without the dress.
Oh,
So.
yeah, okay. Guys, I was so hungry after. I've actually already started and haven't said anything. I am back home and I'm now having dinner. Some grilled chicken, Middle Eastern rice, and like a quick makeshift salad. I'm back in the car again. I personally think I'm nuts. I am on my way to do the groceries. I have no energy. And to be honest with you, I kind of want to take a nap. I only got about 6 hours sleep last night because I stayed up reading. And obviously, you know, I've been busy all day doing all the poetry stuff. Actually, I never even debriefed you after that. The poetry meeting, like, it all went really well. We got great feedback in the rehearsal. And I honestly love my team. They're so awesome to work with. But all in all, they all agreed, which was really nice. I obviously got some footage in that I could record, and I've obviously sped it up because it was really quite long. I just put it on record and just kept recording for you all. But I don't know what I was going to say. I just went on a mind blank. Oh, anyway, I headed straight home afterwards. I was so exhausted. I had no energy, and I had to drop one of my group members off anyway, so I just didn't vlog. Anyway, went home, I've eaten, I'm now doing the groceries because tomorrow, which is normally Monday, is grocery day, but tomorrow I have a lot on, and I'm kind of trying to make my life easier by doing the grocery run now. That way I don't have to worry about anything tomorrow in regards to leaving the house. So anyway, also, I am motivating myself by telling myself I can go buy this keychain. Now, I have no idea if they'll either be open still. It's Sunday, so a lot of things in Australia on a Sunday shut earlier than normal. And two, I have no idea if it's still there. So I don't think I put it in my vlog, but a week or so ago, I showed you all this store that had like Jane Austen inspired or themed rather bags. They also had this really beautiful watermelon keychain, and I have not stopped thinking about it. Now, normally when there's something I want to buy, if I think it's unreasonable, like as in I don't need it, I'll tell myself to walk away, and if I still really want it and can't stop thinking about it, etc., after a while, then, oh no, that's not where I'm turning, then I will go and get it. Like, there were a pair of, you know, those sandals that I wear so much of, that Musa's mum bought me a pair, and I bought myself a pair at my birthday, etc. I have like 5 pairs of them now. They've also brought them out in pink. And I was very tempted to go get them. And then I said to myself, do you know what? If you want them still in a couple weeks, go get them. And I'm glad I didn't get them when I first saw them, because upon reflection, although I do love pink, I love more baby pink, and I wouldn't get a whole lot of wear out of it in my wardrobe, so I decided against it. And like, I don't want to buy something that I'm not going to wear often. It's bad enough the red version of those sandals that I got, I only wear, is this where I should be parking? Yes. I only wear at Christmas, and now it's coming up to Valentine's Day, so I'm telling myself maybe I can wear it at Valentine's Day. So anyway, you get the idea, right? So I couldn't stop thinking about this keychain, and I was like, you know what? if I'm going to go do the groceries, I'll go get it. And I have, with a voucher that I was given at my birthday, I have an amount left in it. So I think I'm going to use that to go and get this keychain. Anyway, I'll show you all when I get it, but I'm off. I'm going to do the groceries and I'll see you all after that. There it is. Oh, I think so. I don't know what to tell you because you're not going to believe me. I didn't get the keychain. I went into the shop and I must have stood in there for a solid 10 minutes. And then went, do you know what? I promised myself this year I'd be a bit more frugal and not be ridiculous. Anyway, emphasis on a bit more and not a lot more. I've done half my groceries. I have to go now to the other, you know how I go to 2 grocery stores. I have to go to another one. And I just want to show you, we have a shop in Australia called the Reject Shop, which is kind of like Poundland in the UK. I think it's got something to do with the next Bridgerton series that's coming out, and I think they're trying to, like, you know, theme some of their stuff that way. Anyway, there were so many things I wanted to get, including a teacup that had the letter B on it. But to be fair, I literally have so many teacups. So in the end, I was just like, do you know what? Put everything that I wanted back. There was this beautiful gold frame, this nice teacup, like a sign for the bathroom, etc., that you hang up on the door. And I just had to one by one put everything back because it's not necessary, and nor is what I did get. But I have been wanting something like this for quite some time, not necessarily in this color, but it was only $4. And I was like, you know what? It's good quality and it's what I'm after. I'll regret it because it is so cheap if I don't. So I got a little, I know this is so left field. I also know it's probably a bit dark. This is a little bust of a regal lady. And I want stuff like this for my office and for my bookshelf. And I just think I'll show you in better lighting. But I just think, like, the history lover in me loves to see things like this. There's a TikTok audio going around saying something along the lines of, I'm not a minimalist. I want my home to be surrounded by the treasures of my historical finds, or something like that. I'm definitely not wording that correctly, but it's something of the like. And I relate to that so much because that's how I feel. I'm not a minimalist at all, and like especially not aesthetically speaking. And so I want my home to look like, you know, a historian's home. Anyway, on to Aldi. Good morning, everyone. Don't mind me, I've still got my bed hair. Usually I brush my hair after I brush my teeth and wash my face in the morning, but I've kind of been getting into the habit of only unplaiting it when I'm getting ready for work, which I'll be doing in about an hour's time anyway, because it just looks that little bit nicer, rather than unplaiting it and then tying it back in a bun. Anyway, I'm outside in the summertime when it's much warmer in Australia. Mind you, it's pretty warm most of the time, but when it is warmer first thing in the morning, I like to come out and start my page to 2 pages that I like to read in the morning. I do most of my reading at nighttime, as you'll know, but I like to do my bit of reading and then prayer outside. So you guys have seen me several times doing it inside, which I haven't shown you of late, I know, but I usually sit on the ground and do it because at this hour it can be a bit breezy in the morning. But when it's warm, my favorite thing to do is to pray outside, especially in and amongst my garden. All right, 2 pages done. Now it's time to pray. Time to do the garden. So like I mentioned, I'm doing the garden, and this is the part of my morning I don't often share with you all. I tend to just do it really quickly, get it out of the way in the morning, and then head off to get, well, not off, head back in rather, to get ready for work. Basically, as you can tell, we have remnants of a palm tree directly above us. So every morning I sweep up the ground around the garden. I do like a leafless ground in my garden. It just adds to the tidiness and the quaintness I feel of my garden, as we can see here. And then I just do a little bit of, seldom really, maybe once a week, a little bit of pruning, a little bit of picking up leaves that are also in my plants, and then water. And that's my morning garden routine done before I then go get ready for work. Look at this beauty. And there's just something I just strongly recommend about starting your morning in the garden. It's just, especially when there's a breeze like this, oh, it's so rejuvenating. And also, might I add, sweeping and squatting down to pick up these little leaf piles. It's just a little bit of exercise first thing in the morning. It's a win-win, guys. I have a bucket, well, a pot plant. A pod for my plants that I'm currently not using. And the camera is a little bit blurry. Well, no, I think that's the lighting. Anyway, I take that from pile to pile, use my gardening gloves, and pick up the leaves. All right, time for my lunch, and yes, I am having a bit of a second breakfast, if you will. You could probably already tell from how dark it was when I was showing you my brunch, but you can see it is pouring outside, and as a consequence, I have the light on because it is so dark indoors at the moment, so dark. The good news is it has cooled down somewhat, so that makes me very happy. Anyway, I am wearing an outfit for work today that is very similar to what I wore last week. It's actually almost identical, bar the accessories. So I changed my shoes from the gladiator sandals to the black flats, and I'm wearing silver accessories instead of gold. Actually, I'm wearing some of my pearl jewelry today, a pearl ring, bracelet, and earrings. Anyway, happy Monday if I didn't say that already. I'm off to a great start for the week. I'm very happy. I am going to go and lesson plan now. Everything is done that I needed to do this morning. The gardening, the washing, the cooking, the cleaning. Now I need to lesson plan before I start work. So I'll probably see you at some point in my office, but who knows? I don't know how well I'll be able to show you, but out there was where I was showing you this morning the piles of leaves I was picking up. To be honest, waste of time really, because you can't really appreciate it through the door. Hang on. Oh no, I've locked it. So, well, oh yep, and can't go out anyway. But there are leaves scattered on the ground now, so waste of time. I'm just in the middle of my lesson planning for the day, and now I'm cutting up some of those lessons. Actually, you probably haven't, I don't know, like if this is a common thing to have in one's household, but remember this is my office. So this is my dad. I don't even know why my dad had one, but my dad had this little paper guillotine cutter, obviously, and he gave it to me when I first started tutoring, and because as a teacher we always had one in the staff office, but he gave this to me when I started tutoring, and I was like, yeah, I might use it. Little did I realize, I was like, I'll use it here and there. Little did I realize every single lesson I would be using it. Anyway, so waste not, want not, as they say. Now I'm cutting up some of these lessons and getting everything ready. I'm almost done. And then I am going to... I don't know why I decided to do this at the same time. And then I am going to edit this vlog. And I also wanted to tell you all, I read some of your comments on the Q&A that I recently did, the religious one. And I noticed that a few of you mentioned that you find my videos a bit long. Now, I know a while ago when I asked this question, I know some of you said that you preferred them long. And I've been doing them at around 30 to 40 minutes. But then several of you mentioned that although you find them long, you enjoy them, which was really nice. But the preface that you find them long makes me realize that maybe I should cut these vlogs down a little bit. So I might trial that moving forward. Also, if you've made it this far in the video, I am thinking of switching up. I know I've said this before and not done it, I am thinking of switching up my Tuesday and Friday vlogs that I do to doing one vlog and one video of some sort. Whether it be a poetry reading, whether it be, you know, a longer form video of my short content, so where I talk about culture, modest fashion, religion, etc. Maybe I just do a long form video of that. I'm not sure, but I think maybe one vlog a week, and then I'll do more of the other content that I know you will love so much, because I find the vlogs, although I love having it and I'll not stop doing it, at least right now I love doing it, I do find that doing vlogs is for a much more niche audience. And I would like to cater, now I'm so grateful that I hit 100,000 subscribers, I would like to cater for as many of you as possible. So I'm going to get on with the lesson planning because that's my first job. I've got to do a whole bunch of cutting up stuff for their lessons, for their classes. I'll finish editing this vlog, and then maybe I'll make a little bit of a plan for the coming week to see what kind of content I can do. Bear in mind I say this when the next 2 videos are already ready to go. If it's a bit loud, sorry, the door is open. So we'll see. I'll see. When you see this video, it might be at least a week before any changes happen, because like I mentioned, there's already content ready to go. Good afternoon, my duckies. What is this? Jemima? The muck on you. You guys are so filthy in this rain, my goodness. Good morning, everyone. I am very excited this morning because, and I will put in a very small snippet of a clip that I just vlogged for you, or before this, I will put it after this. I just spent, I don't know how long, waiting to get tickets to see Hans Zimmer live in concert. He is coming to Australia. And if you don't know who Hans Zimmer is, I can almost guarantee that you've heard his music. He is an epic composer who has profoundly produced some of the most amazing cinematic scores of our time. If you've heard the music for Lion King, Interstellar, The Pirates of the Caribbean, that's all his work, just to name a few. So I'm very excited. I was waiting and waiting. When I first logged in, it was over 8,000 people in the queue. And then by the time I took a photo actually, and it was at about 6,000 at this point. By the time it slowly dwindled, eventually I got in. The tickets that I wanted were sold out, unfortunately. Fortunately, it means that I get to save a bit of money. It's just unfortunate that it means that I'm sitting a lot further back than I had wanted. And usually if I'm going to do things like this, thankfully, I can afford in this scenario. I said to myself, I'm going to do it right. So usually if I agree that, you know, yes, I can go and do this, I'm going to do it properly. I don't want to spend the money if it means I'm going to be all the way at the back, because then I'm just going to be watching it on screen. But I feel like in this case, it's not too bad because it's a whole orchestral experience. So it's not just necessarily about Hans Zimmer, although he will be there, but it's about the entire musical performance of it all. So anyway, I got tickets. I'm going with there's 4 of us. So myself, Musa, and then one of my friends and one of my cousins. So the 4 of us have created like a little mini group, actually, coincidentally. The 4 of us are a little, if you like, group now, because together we created my book. Shameless little plug here. I seldom talk about it actually on my vlogs, which maybe I should do more of. But my book, which is somewhere here, my friend that I said is coming created the artwork throughout the book. Any artwork that you see, like the little drawings at the bottom, or any of the artworks that start each of the chapters, or sections rather, they're not chapters, my friend drew. My cousin was the editor for the book, and Musa, my partner, was the layout designer. So he did all the electronic work laying out this for printing. So very lucky girl. So now, as a consequence of us all working together, we've now got this nice little group, which is so sweet. Anyway, happy Tuesday. I've had a beautiful morning out in the garden, praying, reading, etc. I am now ready for work. I'll show you my outfit and then head off for the day's lesson planning and piano practicing and everything else that it entails. Outfit repeating from last week, just like yesterday. It was only worn once, so why not wear it again? Black top, navy jeans, but instead of wearing my ballet flats, I've decided to wear just my open sandals. I really like them. Rose gold accessories for today. I'm wearing my blue hamster to tie in with my navy blue pants, and that is pretty much it. Waiting in the queue to get tickets to Hans Zimmer. There are 6,341 people ahead of me at the moment, but here's to hoping that we actually can get some. Loading. That's okay. Oh, there's a tick of approval. I am in the middle of lesson planning as well as editing. And as I have come to add in my little videos from getting the tickets for Hans Zimmer this morning, I realized this vlog is due to be wrapped up. But before I do that, I wanted to share in this vlog, especially on the back end of the previous vlog, talking about reconnecting with my faith. And then this week, really trying to pray more than I normally would anyway. Two things, not related, but first is related. I have decided, this is big news for me, really. I have decided to change churches. So my family have a church. Hear me out. They have a church, and it's a church that we all go to, and it's a Melkite Catholic church, which is what we are. And it's one where there is a big community of Melkite Catholics. We all know each other, etc., etc. As a community would suggest, we all know each other. And that's wonderful, especially at times of Christmas, especially at times of Easter, etc. And sometimes, often actually throughout the past few years, I haven't wanted to go to that church, and I've wanted to go by myself. And I've gone to St. Mary's Cathedral, which I have mentioned, I'm sure, countless times, and I'm sorry to be always so repetitive, but I'm conscious of anyone that's either new or just didn't hear or doesn't know for whatever the reason. So I just want to make sure I'm always making sense. I love St. Mary's Cathedral. It's my favorite place to see in Sydney. And so I have often decided to not go to my family's church and go to St. Mary's Cathedral by myself. The thing is, it's really far. The other thing why I mention all of this in my decision to do so, to go to another church, I want to go to one that is closer to home so that I am therefore going to go more often. I work 6 days a week, and it's really difficult come Sunday to travel an hour, whether I am going to St. Mary's Cathedral or whether I'm going to my family's church, different directions, but it's an hour's travel. I want a church where it's closer, but that's actually not my only deciding factor or my influencing factor. I not only want it to be closer to home, I actually want to go alone. And I don't know if that makes sense to many people, because I know faith is often considered a real communal thing. But I actually just want to build my relationship with God by myself. I don't mind sharing it at all, really. It's not that I mind sharing it per se, especially not at times of festivities such as Christmas and Easter. But weekly, I just want to be alone in that relationship. I want to go to church, I want to learn, and I want to reflect, and I want to worship by myself. And maybe that's something that will change, but for now, that's how I feel. And so I just wanted to quickly share that with you all, because I presume the next vlog will probably be heavily centered around that. I'm not sure where, I don't know. I live in a farming area, although there are suburbs around that are more developed and have churches. And my preference, not that it really matters, but my preference would be that it's an old church. I would like it to be an old church. I really feel drawn to these older buildings. And I would like it to be a Catholic church. That's what I know. I am not someone, however, that's averse to praying in a church that's not Catholic, just FYI. I've been to Orthodox churches, I've been to many Anglican churches, and I've even been to a Baptist church. As long as I can pray, I'm good. But my preference would be Catholic. That's what I know. That's what I am baptized. That's what I am raised in. And so I would like to stick to that. However, when I was in England, when I was living there, I often went to Westminster Abbey, because I'm so extra like that. I'm so over the top like that. Like I mentioned, I'm so drawn to these old buildings. So I would often go there just in the same manner that I choose to go to St. Mary's Cathedral here. I just love it. However, all in all, I'm thinking of changing churches. I will keep you updated in the next vlog. The second thing that I wanted to tell you, I am going to try every morning and do some Arabic. I know that this is a journey I have been on countless times. There are so many things that I have started and then stopped, And I don't want to give up. I think the moral of stories such as these are always so beautiful in the sense when they say that failure is only when you give up. Not because you've had to stop, not because there's been a bit of a speed hump, so to speak, in the way. Journeys are full of challenges, and that's wonderful as long as you just don't give up. You haven't failed until you give up. So we can argue all we like about the moral of those sorts of stories, but I do share the sentiment. And so it doesn't matter that I have tried to learn Arabic so many times over the years. Last year I devoted so much time to Duolingo, which is an app, if you don't know, where you can practice learning a language. And I don't view that as an entire waste of time, because obviously it's laid foundational work down, but I'm going to try again. So what I wanted to allude to is that every morning, now that I've decided to do this again, I'm going to go through some vocab, go through some Arabic vocabulary, and build the words that I'm learning. I'll go through that with you in the next vlog, because this vlog is already long enough. But I'm on day 2. I just started this yesterday, and on tomorrow I will have a whole other series. I'm getting about roughly 5 words a day, and once I've built my vocabulary up enough, I'll start with phrases. So talk to you all about that tomorrow, or in the next vlog whenever I start it next. I hope you have enjoyed this vlog. I hope you are enjoying coming along with me on my journey through a myriad of things, be it the poetry competition, cooking, family, and even more so of late, sharing more and more with you my journey through faith. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time everyone, much love and God bless. Mwah.